This lesson is about multiplying with decimals. It's easier than you think. In this simple how-to video, learn the basic steps it takes to solve these types of mathematical problems. Get ready to get your math on! Step number 1. Ignore the decimals. But remember the total number of decimal places. Let's look at this problem. 3 54/100 multiplied by 2 5/10. How many decimal places are in the top number? 1, 2. 2 decimal places. How about the bottom number? 1 decimal place, for a total of how many decimal places? Correct, 3 decimal places. Fact: unlike adding and subtracting with decimals, do not line up the decimals in a multiplication decimal problem. Step number 2. Rewrite the problem without the decimals. Line up top and bottom factors based on their place value. Step number 3. Solve the problem. 354 multiplied by 25. Multiply the factors as if they were just whole numbers. We can do this. 354 multiplied by 25. Facts: multiply factors from right to left, beginning with digits in the ones place column. Here we go. 4 times 5 is 20. 0 ones, regroup the 2's. 5 times 5 is 25, plus the 2 we carried, 27. 7, regroup the 2's. 3 times 5, 15. Plus the 2 we carried, 17. Now it's time to multiply by the number in the tens place column. Drop a line, add a 0 for a placeholder. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 2 is 10. 0, regroup the 1. 3 times 2 equals 6, plus the 1 we carried, 7. Now we add up both lines. 0 plus 0 is 0. 7 plus 8 is 15. 5, regroup the 1. 7 plus 0 is 7. Plus the 1 we carried equals 8. 1 plus 7 is 8. The product, 8,850. But we're not done. Step number 4. Add the decimals back into the product. Here is the original problem. 3 54/100 multiplied by 2 5/10. How many decimal places do we have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. When we multiplied this number like whole numbers, our product was 8,850. Now we add back in those decimals by counting the number of decimal places from right to left. 1, 2, 3. Fact: the result of a multiplication problem is the product. Step number 5. Provide the answer. 8 850 thousandths. Great job! You did it! But let's try this one more time. The problem is 12 6/10 multiplied by 32 hundredths. Step number 1. Ignore the decimals. Here's our original problem. 12 and 6/10 multiplied by 32 hundredths. Before we can begin, we must remember the total number of decimal places. Let's look at that top number. How many decimal places in that number? 1 decimal place. Now let's look at the bottom number. 2 decimal places. For a total of how many decimal places? Correct, 3 decimal places. Facts. Do not line up the decimals in decimal multiplication problems. Step number 2. Rewrite the problem without the decimals. Facts. Line up the top and bottom factors based on their place value. Step number 3. Solve the problem. 126 times 32. Facts. Multiply the factors as if they were just whole numbers. We've got this. Facts. Multiply factors from right to left, beginning with digits in the ones place column. Here we go. 6 times 2 equals 12. 2 in the ones place value column, group the 1 to the tens place column. 2 times 2 equals 4, plus the 1 we carried equals 5. Next, 1 times 2 equals 2. Now we're ready to multiply the top numbers by the bottom digit in the tens place value column. First, drop a line and place a 0 in the ones place value column. Now we're ready to multiply again. 6 times 3 equals 18. 8 under the tens place value column, and regroup the 1. Next, 2 times 3 equals 6, plus the 1 we carried equals 7. 1 times 3 equals 3. There are no more numbers to multiply. Now we add together the answer lines. Add the numbers in the first place value column first. 2 plus 0 equals 2. Now add the numbers in the tens place value column. 5 plus 8 equals 13. 3, regroup the 1. Add the numbers in the hundreds place value column. 2 plus 7 equals 9, plus the 1 we carried equals 10. 0, regroup the 1. Add the numbers in the thousands place value column. 3 plus 1 we carried equals 4. Now what's the product or answer? Step number 4. Add the decimals back into the product. Here is the original problem. 12 and 6/10 multiplied by 32 hundredths. How many decimal places do we have? Let's count again. 1, 2, 3. When we multiplied this number like whole numbers, our product was 4,032. Now it's time to add back in the decimals by counting the number of decimal places from right to left. 1, 2, 3. Our final product now is step number 5. Provide the answer. 4 and 32 thousandths. Great job! You did it again. Keep it going.